Good growth is in everyone's interest. But what does good growth look like? How can you identify it? And what will create it? We've been working with our clients and developing what we call Total Impact Measurement and Management, or TIMM, T-I-M-M for short. Here's how it works. It starts at its core. All businesses must make a profit and create value. But more and more of their stakeholders have a different view of what good growth is and can influence a business's ability to make profits. And they have a far greater interest in these 4 areas. On the economy, such as investment, payroll and profits. On taxes, I'm talking about those you pay and collect. On the environment, including water pollution, waste and air emissions. And on society, for example, on health, education and livelihoods. TIMM puts a social value or a social cost on these areas and so allows us to quantify all 4. This is a first, as social and environmental impacts in particular have in the past been largely qualitative. In so doing, TIMM enables management to develop a better understanding of their potential impacts and what that means to their stakeholders. This is interesting in itself. It helps support a business's license to operate. But the real benefit to business is in the ability to compare strategies and investment choices and evaluate the total impact of each. Understanding and comparing the trade-offs is key. Let me show you what I mean. Imagine you're a brewer. You have a brewery in Africa and you have a choice between importing raw materials or growing them locally. The question is, which is better? Using TIMM, we can show what the total impact of importing looks like. The size of the bar is the relative impact, green being positive and red being negative. For example, emissions are red and high because the barley has to be shipped in from overseas. Let's compare this to growing locally. You can immediately see the different impacts of the 2 scenarios. Let's see that again. Import or produce locally. Import or produce locally. The trade-offs are crystal clear. Let's look at 2 of those key trade-offs in this hypothetical situation. We have a choice. We can import with high greenhouse gas emissions because of transport, or produce locally and have a high impact on water use because in Africa, water is more scarce. In addition, by producing locally, we can generate increased benefits to society, but at the expense of that higher impact on water use. There is, of course, no right or wrong answer. Different interest groups will have different views. But at a glance, it becomes much easier for management to see the overall or total impact of their decisions, not just the financial. Qualitative data has become quantitative. And it is also much easier to understand and manage the trade-offs. For the first time, management have a tool that allows them to fully understand and explain the overall consequence of their decisions. Now that's what I call good growth.